has came in and said, you definitely want to continue to grow and play faster. Obviously, our defense was pretty successful last year, so keeping that intact. But just looking to play faster and get the ball up the court with the pass more than the dribble.
Describe just Kenny's overall demeanor, personality out there with you guys.
Yeah, I think he's intense, but it has purpose and meaning to it. There's no wasted movements with him. I think he's intentional, with everything he talks about and has us go through, which, really helps, the learning curve for what he's trying to teach us, in the matter of time that we had, and that was training camp and a couple days that, we've been back here, and then continue to grow and learn during the preseason.
I've seen him get into some drills with you guys in training camp when you guys were scrimmaging. Like he's out there, so maybe he's gonna watch out for him.
Yeah, exactly. No, he works out every day, so he's in good enough shape. He could probably be the third point guard on some team in the NBA. So, no, it's great when you have a coach that's out there doing it with you. He's never going to ask to put you through something that he wouldn't, think about putting himself through. So that's an advantage to have him as a coach.
So many teams at this point of the season, George, they talk about the things that they want to do differently, and pace seems to be like one of the buzzwords around the NBA. Like, what is it that you will see from this team that lets you know, okay, we're doing what we want to do when it comes to pushing the pace?
I guess, the way you guys measure it is, metrics and, numbers, so we'll have to wait a couple games, into the season. But I think overall, flying the ball up the court with the pass, we have two elite, rim running bigs, getting them on, easy layups and dunks by running the floor and keeping them motivated to run the floor, that, the ball is going to get to them through the pass more than, we are going to be dribbling the ball up the court. So I think playing with pace for us is advancing the ball with the pass and getting into the lane and then, kind of starting our cycle of like drive and kick.
As you're going through that, does it feel like a drastic difference from what it has been in the past?
I was only here for 1 year, but obviously, different coaches have different schemes, so I would say it's definitely different. I think our style of play last year is going to be totally different than what it is, this year. And that's a good thing, for us. I think we can really take advantage by playing fast and playing with pace.
What was the experience like being at Progressive Field on Monday and just watching the fans go crazy?
Yeah, that was electric. To see I remember watching the old Indians play, and it was called the Jake, and that place. You'd see the bleachers and there'd be some open spaces, and that place was packed to the brim yesterday. It was impressive to see that many people show up, especially for a playoff game. It was standing room only, and I was happy that I could have good enough seats to see a really good game. Obviously it was unfortunate because in baseball, one mistake and the game could go a totally different way.
There's been so much conversation about the evolution of Evan Mobley on the offensive end of the floor and using him in a different kind of way. And Kenny said the other day that they're probably going to be growing pains with that.
Yeah.
Because Evan's going to be used different than he has in the past. You guys are also a team that has championship aspirations. So championship aspirations and growing pains usually aren't synonymous. Is there room for you guys to deal with the growing pains?
Absolutely. I would say there's room for us to grow with that. I mean, success, I'm sure in your career, isn't just, linear. Like there's times you fall and then climb back up. So I guess, that's our guy. Like he's a max player where we've decided to ride out with what it's going to be with him. And I'm a believer in Evan. I think all of us are a believer in Evan. And yes, growing pains are a part of championship, aspirations. It's not always going to be perfect. Evan's not always going to be perfect. I don't think any person that's won a championship, the team is ever perfect. You struggle, but it's how you respond to that. And I think Evan has shown that he has the character, the overall makeup to continue to work through that and be the best that he can be, because when he's at his best, I think we have a really good chance to win championships.
It's obviously early into the Evan process, but do you see signs of him being a different player from the past?
From what, just training camp, or?
Yeah, from training camp, from the off season.
I think he's developed. He's gotten bigger in the weight room. I mean, he continues to grow and work on his game. I think you're going to see an Evan Mobley that obviously is going to continue to become more polished. But if you're coming out here and expecting Evan to have 30 and 15, it's not lightning in a bottle. Like, I don't know how to explain that to you, but this is a process, and we believe in him, and he's a huge part of our success and why we can and have the opportunities to compete for championships.
Is there a theme in the messaging across this team early on as you prepare for the season, or is that something that kind of builds as you start to play?
I think those two things, right? I think the theme for us is to kind of continue to get back to where we were, last year, but take it further. But then again, that also comes along with how the season's flowing and going. I think more or less the message that's been sent to us is we're still going to play hard, we're still going to be gritty, and we just want to continue to play fast. And I think we've kind of established our young core and who we are, and everyone else kind of needs to like file in and fit in where they may.
You mentioned the energy of Progressive Field. I know it's preseason, but are you guys gearing up for the electricity inside of Rocket Mortgage?
Yeah, I think anytime you take this much time off of basketball, you can get back in front of your fans. It's going to be an awesome experience.
George, aside from staying healthy,
Yeah.
what makes for a successful camp and preseason?
I think guys coming together and growing. I think being down in Sarasota was huge for us. All of us got to spend time together. They got to get to know the coaches. The coaches got to get to know us. And I think it was just an overall great experience because Kenny got to implement his things in a way, that all of us could understand it. And I think that's a huge thing, especially when you're a new coach coming into a team that has already made the playoffs. Getting guys continuously to buy in to what you want to do is huge.